This is a mostly functional AI VTuber that took me way too long to make.
Hello.
But how did I get here? It all started on June 29th, 2023. I hadn't uploaded in a month, and for the first time in probably over a year, I didn't have any future videos planned. And I really didn't have anything to do. But then, all of that changed. In my recommended section was a guy named Vedal, and what he had done was completely unique. He combined the already trending topic of AI with VTubers, another trending topic. And the result was Neuro-sama, an AI VTuber that could talk to Vedal, interact with viewers, and even play games. I thought this was really cool and decided that I wanted to learn to program. Then I could do cool stuff like that. I spent all summer trying to learn to code. But then school came around and I was suddenly forced to stop. And after a few other failed attempts and a whole lot of time went by, before I knew it, it was November of 2024. Around this time, I decided that I would finally crack down on this project. Now, before I get into the development of the AI VTuber itself, I want to explain to you how it works, and if you're not interested in this part, don't worry, it won't take long, plus the rest of the video won't make sense without it. Now, it's an AI VTuber, so obviously the whole thing is centered around AI. Also, the whole thing is a big loop. You'll see what I mean. The actual AI part is a large language model. You don't need to know exactly what that is, but just know it's a text generative AI. The AI will respond to whatever input you give it. In Neuro-sama's case, she responds to a few different things, but predominantly Vedal. Vedal has a system that allows him to talk into his microphone, and a speech-to-text AI turns his voice input into text. But because I'm lazy and kinda dumb, I will be skipping this part. That means I have to type out whatever I want to say, but that'll work for now. Next, the AI will give a response to the input, and the response will be given to a text-to-speech bot to create the voice of the AI VTuber. Now, I'm assuming all of you know how a VTuber functions, but how do we link a VTuber model to this AI? In my case, I will use a virtual audio cable, so the model's mouth moves whenever it talks. Then, we can simply track its movement to a placeholder video, and once that is all done, the process repeats. Now, let's get into the actual development of this project. But there's a few problems. Some of the smart people watching this might be saying, "Oh Aiden, just use OpenAI's API and hook it up to 11 Labs. And although you're right, what you didn't consider is the fact that I'm broke. OpenAI's API system is pretty cheap, but I have absolutely nothing to spend, and although 11 Labs is a great service that would be of great use to me for this project, it's way too expensive for my broke self to be paying." And now for the second problem, I suck at programming. I tried, and I know my attempts at learning to code were less than optimal, but despite that, I have a decent idea of the fundamentals and can write simple scripts. Now, for the third and final problem, my hardware sucks. I don't have a powerful PC to be running large language models or any sort of AI, and because I want to run this on my own computer locally, this will be a challenge. So, when I started the development, my first priority is to finish the AI part of it, you know, the important part. And because I'm not using OpenAI's ChatGPT or any of their models, I need alternative options, like Plankton's wife Karen from SpongeBob. Anyway, there's plenty of alternate sources, including Hugging Face, a website where there's thousands of models made by many people for all sorts of different purposes, so I can save a lot of time picking one. I ended up choosing a model using 3 billion parameters. You don't need to know what that means either, but it's basically how smart the AI is. 3 billion might sound like a lot, but for a large language model, it's very small. This is intentional to counter my joke of a computer. Next, I need to give it a voice. A lot of people, including this guy, would argue that this is the most difficult part, but personally, I think it's finding a tree and punching it to collect wood. For this part, I just took the easy way out, unlike someone, because creating a custom voice model is very difficult, but I won't get into the specifics. I just used a default Microsoft text-to-speech voice, but I want to note that if I ever continue this project in the future, this definitely won't be staying. I don't like it a lot myself, and I hope to change it soon. The next part of this project that I'm going to talk about is the VTuber itself. This part is fairly easy. I just used VTube Studio, the most popular software for VTubing, but for the model, I just used a free pre-made model that comes with VTube Studio, simply because, just like I mentioned earlier in the video, I'm broke. And since VTuber models can be really expensive, like $2,000 for one model, I decided that I didn't really have another choice. And finally, just like I also mentioned earlier in the video, I'm using a virtual audio cable to have the model's mouth move whenever it talks. This next part would have been a small section of the video, but it's really short. For the final thing, I just need to connect all these components so the whole thing works, but I just have a very short and simple program to do that. Now, I would have been more open about what I used to make this project, but I need to make a point first. Because everything I used is completely free, and due to me having a peanut brain, everything I used is also really simple. So if I gave out every last resource I used, then literally everyone and their grandmas could make an AI-Vtuber. And although for some people it's already very simple and straightforward, this could pose a problem. Vedal himself mentioned this same issue on his Discord server, but basically, giving out the resources to make these things just helps others make competition, and although the development of this project or anything similar could be very simple for others to figure out, I will still refrain from stating exactly what I used to run this. I also want to mention that I'm not trying to create competition for Vedal, or am I? And with that, this project is completed. By that, I mean it's functional. But before I showcase the final result, I want to say a few things. It's a lot, but please stick around. I wanted to say that the final result you're about to see is less than lacking. And a lot of that is directly on me. Like, I forgot to add that placeholder video that the model tracks. So basically it just stays still and does nothing. My mistake. But some of the issues that hold back this project's full potential are things like my hardware. Basically the text-to-speech starts reading the response before it's done generating. And if I had good hardware, that would be good. But because I don't, it just reads one word at a time with long pauses in between. There's a few other things I wouldn't mention, simply because this is getting a bit long and I want to have a decent retention rate for this video. And without saying anything else, here it is. Hello everybody, my name is Aiden Animates. Now, I didn't really plan any of this out, I just kind of went with it. So I finished this just a little bit ago and I haven't tested it completely. It's the AI-Vtuber I've been working on for way too long now, so hopefully it works. Hello everyone, so basically it's about 2 hours later. We ran into some minor difficulties. Anyway, it should be solved now.
G.
Did you get that?
Readings.
Oh my god, it works. Oh my god, it's so slow. No, what is this?
Hey there. How's it going? Smiling face with smiling eyes, what brings you here today? I'm always ready for some fun and interesting conversations. So, what do you want to talk about? Tell me something new or ask me anything that catches your curiosity. I'll try my best to answer you and make you laugh along the way. Face with tears of joy.
Once again, I want to say I'm sorry for the questionable quality of the final result. And if you're wondering why that was so short, I will have a second video up soon. It'll be just a short showcase of this project. And depending on when you're watching this, it might be linked in the description. So anyway, Vedal, here's your competition, self-proclaimed by me, the disastrous developer of it. And for those of you that think I'm really stupid, want to make fun of me, or even harass me, don't. Do it in my Discord server instead, link in the description, along with Vedal's channel. I'm also open to suggestions, tips, or anything else that could help me on this project. And for just 100 likes on this video, I will continue this project in future videos. Now, without dragging this out anymore, I'll see you next time.